today we're tackling video editing.
Oh, nice.
Specifically, how to make content that really grabs your audience.
Oh, that's a good one.
We're tapping into the expertise of Carmen Joseph.
Okay.
She's a video editor at AC Marketing Caribbean.
It's called 5 Lessons from a Video Editor, Mastering the Art of Captivating Content. And it's got some really good stuff in there. Like, her first point is all about knowing your audience,
Okay.
but also not being afraid to reach beyond them.
Interesting. So not limiting yourself to just your niche.
Even if you're targeting a specific group, there are ways to broaden your appeal without, like, alienating your core viewers.
Gotcha. So it's like finding that sweet spot where you're speaking to both your dedicated audience and people who just stumble across your content randomly.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be a tough balance to strike.
It is. It is.
I'm curious about the example she uses in the article,
Oh, yeah.
where she talks about using marketing itself as a subject.
Right.
Because on the surface, marketing can sound
yeah,
pretty dry,
to a lot of people.
especially to those outside the field.
Totally.
But she makes this point that even a topic like that can be engaging.
Yeah.
If you think about the story you're telling and how to present the information in a way that makes people curious.
Absolutely. It's all about presentation.
It's like those explainer videos, you know,
Yeah.
the ones that break down these complex topics
Yeah.
in a way that's not just informative,
And
but also like genuinely entertaining.
you're like, wait, how did I get here?
Right. But you're hooked.
Exactly. You're totally hooked. They use humor.
Visual
Showcase.
storytelling
Yep.
to make even the most technical subjects accessible.
Exactly. And you can apply that same kind of thinking to your own videos,
Right.
whatever topic you're working with.
Okay, so that's broadening your appeal, but then her second point is about making every second count,
Yes.
which
Which is so important these days. Every element in your video has to serve a purpose
okay.
because you're competing for attention. So every shot, every transition, every single word,
Wow, yeah.
it all needs to contribute to the message and keep people engaged.
So you got to think like a viewer.
Yeah. Put yourself in their shoes.
If something's not adding value,
Right.
it's just a distraction.
Exactly.
It's about being ruthless with your editing,
Yeah, basically.
which leads perfectly into her third lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Less is more.
Ooh, a classic.
But surprisingly hard to follow sometimes.
Isn't it? It really is. And it's something that even, like, experienced creators
Oh, yeah,
can struggle with.
for sure.
You know, you might be tempted to use all those cool effects and transitions, but Carmen cautions against cluttering things up
Makes sense.
with all the bells and whistles.
I've definitely fallen into that trap.
Oh, tell me about it.
I thought I was making my videos super dynamic, but it actually ended up being distracting.
Yeah,
And it took away from what I was trying to say.
totally. It's about effective storytelling
Okay.
in general.
Interesting.
You think about a good novel
Yeah.
or a movie.
Yeah.
They don't bog you down with unnecessary details.
Right, they get to the point.
Exactly. They focus on what's essential.
So Carmen's fourth lesson is about choosing the right tools.
Well, her point is that you should choose software based on your needs
Makes sense.
and what type of video you're making.
Okay.
She gives a couple examples, like basic editing apps for beginners, simple projects.
Yeah.
Then you have more, like, advanced tools like Adobe After Effects.
Oh, yeah, for visual effects.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it really depends on your skill level and what you're trying to do.
Totally.
Whether you're baking a cake or writing code, the right tools can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. They make your work easier,
Oh, yeah.
more efficient, and the final product is just better.
What software would you recommend they explore?
It really depends on what they're going for. If they're just starting out, maybe something user-friendly like iMovie or CapCut.
Those are good ones.
But if they want those more advanced effects
okay.
and have the budget for professional software,
Right.
then Adobe Premiere Pro is a really strong choice.
Yeah, it's a classic for a reason.
It is.
And there are tons of resources out there
So many,
to help people get started with any of those.
for sure. Carmen really highlights YouTube as this game changer for learning video editing.
It's true.
All those tutorials,
Everything.
from the basics to the really complex stuff,
It's like a global classroom.
at your fingertips.
I remember when I was first starting out with video editing,
Yeah?
I was so intimidated by all the technical stuff of
Yeah.
the software interfaces.
Yeah. Yeah.
But YouTube,
YouTube to the rescue.
it broke it all down.
That's awesome.
I learned how to use keyframes,
Nice.
color grading,
Cool.
even that slow motion zoom effect.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
For those who might not know,
Okay.
what exactly is that?
So it's this technique where you slow down the footage,
Fuck.
and at the same time, you zoom in on a specific subject.
Gotcha.
It creates this like really dramatic cinematic feel.
Yeah.
It's like you're highlighting a key moment.
I see.
Think of those epic slow motion scenes in action movies. That's the vibe.
Okay, I get it.
And I learned all that from YouTube.
Do you think there are any downsides to relying only on YouTube for learning?
I think there's a risk of getting lost
Yeah.
in all those tutorials
Mm-hmm.
without having a solid foundation.
Okay.
It's like trying to bake a fancy cake
Uh-huh.
without knowing basic baking.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy. Maybe start with a course to get the terminology down.
The workflow,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can dive into those YouTube tutorials
right?
with a better understanding of how it all works together,
And these are seriously valuable insights.
especially for beginners.
Yeah, or anyone looking to improve their skills.
Absolutely.
And I love how her background in marketing
Oh, yeah.
influences her approach.
It adds a whole other layer.
It's not just about making a video look pretty.
Right. There's strategy involved.
It's about the message, the goal.
How can they put these lessons into practice?
What are they trying to achieve?
Mm-hmm.
Who's their audience? And what message do they want to get across?
Makes sense.
Once they have those figured out,
Yeah.
they can start applying these lessons to their editing.
Exactly.
So for example, let's say they're making a tutorial video
Okay.
aimed at beginners.
Got it.
They'll need to prioritize clarity,
Yeah.
keep it concise.
Mm-hmm.
Every step needs to be explained clearly, visually demonstrated.
Right. And remember, every second counts.
Exactly.
They might even want to use screen recording software
Oh, yeah.
and keep those editing tools simple.
To create a clean, straightforward tutorial.
That's the key.
But what if they're working on something more creative?
Okay.
Like a short film
Yeah.
or a music video.
Right?
Then they might want to experiment with different visual effects,
Yeah.
editing techniques,
It's all about finding that balance.
between creativity and clarity.
You nailed it.
It's amazing how accessible learning has become.
I know, right?
But
yeah.
it's important to remember YouTube is just one piece of the puzzle.
Oh, for sure.
You need that good grasp of the fundamentals
Absolutely.
and approach learning with a critical eye.
So true. It's easy to get caught up in the latest trends
Yeah.
without understanding the basics.
It's pretty amazing to think
What is?
that just a few years ago,
Mm.
mastering video editing meant like
Yeah.
you needed expensive software,
Right.
formal training, the whole 9 yards.
Oh,
And
yes.
now you can learn from the best, right from your own home, in your pajamas even.
Haha, exactly. All thanks to the internet.
And that accessibility is,
It's pretty empowering.
it really is. It means anyone with a story,
A product to show off.
a message they want to share.
They can learn to make great videos.
Exactly. And you know what?
It's that.
You don't have to become like a Hollywood level editor overnight.
Right. You can start small.
Yeah, just take those small steps.
Experiment. Have fun with it.
Exactly. And never stop learning.
Oh, for sure. Video editing is always evolving.
With new tech
New techniques.
all the time.
So stay curious. Keep experimenting.